gentlemen, finally have figured out some technical issues on our part. First drivers out of the pits were SRT Clark, Matthew May, Josh Meister, and Beto Express. Got a few more coming in. Will I now? I always hit include the. It always hits. I always hit the party audio as soon as the stream starts. It always turns it right off, and I'm like, yep, okay, that's not annoying at all.
Well, you should be able to hear me now.
Good, we got SRT Clark now starting the third sector as he comes out of Variante Alta. Down to Ravazza 1 and 2. I'm right on board with him out of the final corner. And he's going to dive into the pit, so we're going to move on to the McLaren of Josh Meister, who's coming out of Ravazza now. He'll be the first man across the line to start a hot lap here. Ura's opened down this long pit straight. They got top speed of 208 miles an hour. Comes into the Tamburello chicane. Out of the chicane, heading into Villeneuve. We've got an Alfa Romeo getting out of the way ahead of him. Oh, very wide on the exit into the gravel. 24.3 through the first sector. It could be a lot better though. Out of Tosa now, heading to Piratella. Got a sixth gear here. Aqua Minerale, probably one of the hardest corner sections to get right in any track. He's coming out now.
50.2.
Oh, very, very loose on the exit of Variante Alta there.
Matthew May behind him was going quicker, but backs out as well. So, invalidated Josh.
Josh might be invalidated.
That's a car struggling.
Ran across the line will be Antonio Wright. He'll be starting at the hot lap though, so move to the Alfa Romeo 6. He's a home track for his team. And they'll be wanting some good points here tonight. Will not be putting up a lap time. It's going to be the Red Bull of AERT Shed as he's out of Ravazza now. Opens the DRS and across the line. It's going to be a 1:14.5 for the Red Bull.
Envy smashes that behind him.
Oh yeah, over a tenth and a half ahead with a 14.349.
Matthew May with a Stallman lap.
Absolutely
That's
flying it. He needs his own division because that's just too fast, frankly.
That's tier -5 in Bellany.
It really is. I mean, a 39.8. You guys gotta get out of his way when it comes to the race. He's gonna absolutely run right through you. He's not even gonna know it.
Yeah. Who's even in that tier? You say like Callum, Jamie, Cosmo, Matthew May. That's the squad. Maybe even me as well.
WR Harrison crossing the line now to start his hot lap. Trying to find a driver not, or on a lap I should say. It's 14.6 for the AlphaTauri of Antonio Wright. Got 6 coming across the line now. It's going to be a 15, almost a 15.1 flat, just a thousandth of a second short of that. E4 for the Alfa Romeo.
Recent that's just looking rapid as he comes up at the end of the second sector. Because of the 49.4. Oh, loses it on the entry of the chicane. And that's going to cause an invalidation for Reese, who's looking very quick.
Another driver coming in, it's Luca from last week. I believe last week he had made his debut in GSRL. It's a 14.55 for Ratty, it's P3. George Ansel across the line is a 14.568, it's P4 for the Mercedes driver. Harrison across the line into 14.3, but it was an invalid lap.
Why didn't he go in the pits? maybe just to see his pace. So.
Yeah, no, I imagine that's exactly what he was looking for there. I hadn't even noticed he had invalidated before he had crossed the line. I figured it was all good. It was a 14:31 once again. He was 0.04 of a second ahead of NB.
Loppy, I believe, had a pedal in the sector as he comes around the final corner up to the line.
Oh, 15.27 is going to be 8th out of the 8 drivers. Got a Haas stopped halfway through the pit exit. Stay out of the way of the Ferrari, of course. Matthew May, who's run out of fuel, he'll be coming into the pits this time by.
Yeah.
W.R. Harrison might not be on a lap here. No, he's run out of fuel just now. Reese has also run out of fuel. He's coming down to Ravazza now. What do we else? Really no one here on a hot lap right now. In fact, the closest one to putting up another lap, I think, is Beto Express, and he's just started Sector 3. Looks like Luca has finally picked a car. He's finally in the session for sure. Good news there for the Red Bull driver.
I believe this is just like small short qualifying. I'm guessing nothing about the drivers. So.
It is short quali due to the.
Oh, it's a sprint anyway.
Sprint race. Yes.
Yeah.
Due to the sprint race.
Oh.
Oh yeah! Wow, that's
right in the way there. That's a ban. Get him gone.
that could be a penalty in all seriousness. Yeah,
That's
he crossed
disgusting.
the white line and nearly impeded Beto Express here. Coming to the end of Sector 1, it's going to be a 24.091.
Well in Beto.
Keep it going,
son. I'm going to jump to Matthew May.
He goes wide and it's invalidated. Beto has invalidated. We're going to move on to Josh Meister, who's 23.9 through the first sector.
Yeah, I mean, that's the AlphaTauri's fault, the Beto, definitely.
Ooh, not
nice
a very
lane
good
from
run
Josh.
Piratella there. Into Aqua Minerali now. A 50.0 through the first 2 sectors. He's not running super slow, but Piratella, I imagine, lost him about 2 or 3 tenths there at least. Coming through Ravazza 1 and 2. Goes a little wide there. Keeps it valid, though. A little wide on exit, still valid. Opens the DRS now and across the line. What can the McLaren do? It's going to be a 15.354. It's P9 out of 9 drivers.
Slower than Matthew May. Jesus, Josh. Hang it up, son.
That's not fair. I'm probably 2 seconds slower than Matthew. I'm not going to say anything.
I wouldn't know if I'm slower.
Oh, I would. I am definitely. I'm terrible in quali anyway, so perfect quali lap from me here would probably still be 2 seconds off.
I'm getting a radio report to watch Matthew May's lap. So he's invalidated.
He's on an out lap, so let's wait and see.
Okay, he's alright. Let's go, Matthew.
Down the pit straight, it's going to be a top speed of 207 miles an hour heading into Tamburello. Turn 1, 2, and part 3. I said turn, I meant part. Technically, those little kinks down the pit straight count as turns. I don't know why, don't ask me. I personally think it's pretty dumb. It's a 23.901 through the first sector. He's up by almost 2 tenths in the first sector alone. Very good run there for the Alpine driver here as he's heading into Piratella now. It's going to be 5th gear here on exit.
I think he lost time on the exit.
They have. We're going to find out here in just a second as he crosses the line to start the second sector. He does lose a little bit of time, not a lot. He's still improving by over a tenth. Very, very oversteering through the game there.
Oh.
We got 6 retiring.
Whoa.
I think he may have crashed into the wall.
Yeah, that was his car in the wall in the final sector.
I'm not sure what happened there, but out of the final corner now, Matthew May, what can he put
Let's
up?
go,
He's
Matthew.
opened up the DRS and across the line. It's going to be a 14.97. He finds over a quarter of a second. It's a very good time, but only enough to put him P8, which shows you just how fast these guys are in Tier 1. Pavelli across the line with a 15.2, and it's only P10 for him. Oh, and we have got both Josh and I believe Soft Floppy. Yes, both of them going very slow in Paratella, trying to stay out of the way of the Williams of Clark, who's invalidated, going extremely wide on the exit of Aqua Minerale there. And he's just going to cut the entire chicane there. Okay. I'm not 100% sure if that's allowed in this league. I know there's one league I'm in that's certainly not allowed. Right along with Luca Lutolf. I don't know. Someone please correct me on that if I'm wrong. I know I'm drastically wrong there. Out of Tamburello now. He's running a very, very fast line here through Villeneuve. Very aggressive, and that's going to cause him to spin out. Avoids the wall, so good news there for the Red Bull.
Which was won by Lewis Hamilton.
I've just watched the Alpines nearly kill each other in the pits. That was interesting.
Oh, jeez. Is that what it could have been bad? And
It definitely
has crossed the line, improved by almost a tenth and a half, a 14.212.
3-10 gap. Lobby's looking pretty quick on his next lap. And Aqua Minerale. 49.6, he's nearly 5/10 up yet.
Harrison still has yet to put up a lap time here. Luca, I imagine, will want to put up a lap here, but he also spun at Villeneuve, so I don't know if he's going to get a very good read on how good the lap will or won't be. Soft Floppy across the line puts up a 16.47, improving by exactly 0.6 of a second. It's up to P6 for the Ferrari. Imagine the Tifosi will be quite pleased with that lap time. First man out of the pits for this final run here in qualifying will be the Haas of Reese. Right now the Haas teammates not looking so hot. P14, P16 right now. Is there anything they can do to change that over the next 2 minutes and 43 seconds? Cross line now. Coming down the pit straight. Through Tamburello part 1, 2, and immediately followed by part 3. A little wide on the exit of Tamburello. With Villeneuve now. The race looks like he's backed off. 2 seconds off in the first sector alone. I'm not sure why he's backed off so hard, but got almost everybody and their grandmother out on a lap now. Only man who hasn't left the pits yet is 6, and he's already out of the session. And we're going to look at here now is Ched. Right on board with him here. He's got an Alpine ahead of him. That being either Robin or Matthew May. That did the first sector, improved by over half a tenth. Out of Cosa. Making the run to Piratella. Followed by Aqua Minerale. The 5th gear. Will live keep the salad. Fourth gear on the exit, Aqua Minerale. Keeps the car stable there. Through the first 2 sectors, he's improved by almost a tenth and a half. How much more time can the Red Bull find? He eats a lot of that entry curve, but keeps it valid. Out of the exit now of Variante Alta. Down the hill to Rivazza. His teammate of all people blocks him. His own teammate. Oh, Ched is going to be frankly, he's going to be pissed. And the worst part is now his teammate's giving a tow to the guy behind. And Ched is retired from the session after that. And you got to feel for Ched after that one. I mean, that was point blank obvious blocking there. Oh boy, and someone's crashed ahead of Luca here. It's the Williams. Wait, no, he hasn't crashed. He's retired on track. He's retired on track. That might be a penalty to SRT Clark. We're going to move over to Beto Express. Reese puts it up to P2. And Beto is only 14th into 15-1. George Ansel gets P2 off of Reese. Harrison up to P4. Tonio Wright coming through the final few corners. Pavelli not able to improve. Tonio dives into the pits. We go to Thunder. Next man across the line. Following Thunder closely is Robin. Thunder up to P5. Robin P9. Got a few more. Luca across the line. P11 to 14.9. Soft floppy. Does not improve, or no, he does improve. He doesn't improve his position, though. Only 81 thousandths of a second found on that lap. He needed another 100th, at least, to take P9 away from Robin. And that's qualifying over. Envy is your pole sitter with a 14.2, still over a tenth and a half ahead of George Ansel, followed by Reese, WOR Harrison, Thunder, Ched, Tonio Wright, Ratty, Robin, Soft Floppy, your top 10. Following them, you've got Luca, Josh Meister, Matthew May, 6, Beto, Pavelli, and SRT Clark. If you remove Clark, the entire field is within a second of the leader. In fact, the top 10, less than 4/10 separate the top 10. This could be a very, very tightly contested race here tonight. Despicable Nelly says those bulls. I'm assuming you're either Ched, or probably not Ched if you're saying bulls. I'm guessing you might be Matthew May. I almost said Robin, but Robin actually got to improve his lap. I don't think he was stuck behind anybody. Go to the pool, bud.
Do your nose.
And as of right now, the track here for the sprint race looks very dark. We could have some rain here tonight. Harry, let me know if you're there, bud. And we got 3, 4, 5 red lights out here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix as it's lights out, and away we go here now. Bit of a long wait time there for the lights. As of right now, Envy holding the line. George Ansel peeking his nose just a little bit, and we got contact in the back. Cars around, Pavelli and Ratty being the two, I believe. The rest of the field seemed to be going okay. Thunder having a huge gap in front of him in front of him. Oh, we got Matthew May off. Seems like he's okay. Beto Express, though, is way off the track. Got wing damage on the Haas of Beto Express. Back at the front, Envy continuing to maintain his lead. Antonio Wright, right on the back of his teammate. Harrison, right on the back of Tonio. Look at the tight little train going on here. George down the inside of Tonio. Looks like he might be able to get the move off, and he does. It's P5 now for the Mercedes driver. Your biggest winner after lap 1, SRT Clark going from 17th to 14th. Only 3 positions up. The biggest loser, unfortunately, is his teammate losing 7 positions on the opening lap of the sprint race. Back at the top. Top 4 starting to get really spread out here. Ched and Tonio Wright fighting each other for P6 here. Tonio looks like he's gotten the upper hand. Literally everyone on the mediums to start this, or to do this sprint race on. I can't imagine many people will need to pit. Unless, of course, you're like Beto, who's got wing damage, but he stayed out after lap 1. Was clearly expecting something. Oh, no, Tonio, no, it's Thunder around. And he goes back out onto the track. I mean, I know that the ghosting's on, but I don't know how the stewards are going to handle that situation. He just straight up backed up onto the track there. Envy across the line takes a 15.909, and it's his fastest lap out of everybody who's crossed the line so far. And the top 3 really getting spread out here. DRS has been enabled after this lap. Got Tonio still harassing the Red Bull of Ched here. Fantastic helicopter view here now. We got 6 getting a 3-second time penalty. The first driver to get a 3-second. Ooh, Tonio having a much faster run through. Or originally having a much faster run through Aquamarali and almost ran into the back of the Red Bull there. Had to back off. More further back, you've got 6 passing Matthew May for P11. Got Matthew May right on the back. And I'm sorry, no one's using DRS. Hold on, is there something wrong with this lobby? No one had DRS there. It was lap. Is DRS not allowed in the sprint race? I don't understand what was going on there. saw no one use DRS there. George still keeping at least a moderate gap between himself and Envy. Starting to pull away from Reese. He's 1.6 seconds ahead. We got a yellow in the back. It's for Thunder. He's around out of Tosa. May have got on the power way too early there. Don't know, but not a great sprint race for the AlphaTauri now. It was looking all right there for a good bit, and now he's lost 11 positions down to P16 from P5. And look, once again, no DRS. I mean, maybe I should look at someone closer, but okay, there we go. There it is. I'm like, I was worried for a second. I was like, okay, is DRS not active? Couldn't understand. Ched has taken P4 away from Harrison. Harrison down to P5 now. Look at this, Robin making a move on soft floppy, side by side through Villeneuve. Oh, that could have been catastrophic. Josh Meister taking advantage of the lack of momentum soft floppy has, and he takes P8 away. Luca taking P9 away from soft floppy, and in less than half a lap, soft floppy has dropped 3 positions from P7 to P10. He forces Luca off, though. Luca having to get off the track to avoid a collision. And Ratty has left the session. I cannot invite him back. We gotta hope that he can come back soon. WR Harrison with a 3-second time penalty now. Just hate to see it. The 3 seconds could take him out of the points for the sprint race. 5 laps in. Harrison with the move for P4. Not a whole lot really going there. Not really a whole lot needed to get past him. Antonio Wright, though, with a much harder overtake there as he does take P5 away from Ched. Of course, that side-by-side does hamper them a little bit as they're currently 1.2 seconds off the back of the Mercedes. And even if they catch up, Harrison's now less than a second behind Reese. So Harrison could be looking to try and make this a double podium, possibly, for the Mercedes team. Of course, that is before we factor in the penalties. Pavelli now with a 3-second time penalty, which is just essentially just rubbing salt in the wound here. He's already down in P15. Luca Lutolf now with a 3-second time penalty. Not going to help him. Tonio going way off the track at the exit of the chicane. He even hit the tire barrier there. I don't know what happened to the AlphaTauri, but seems all right now. Harrison's going to be getting DRS. George Ansel does not get DRS. He's a bit too far back. He's used up all of his ERS. Envy has also used up just about all of his ERS. Harrison getting past Reese. Ched getting past Tonio there. P5 for Ched and P3 for Harrison. Harrison's just got to hope he can pull 3 seconds to the guys behind him, namely Reese. I don't think Reese is going to let him get away, though. Reese still has a little bit of ERS left in the battery. Not a lot, but enough, a lot more than the man ahead of him. Ooh, not a good run out of the Tosa. Almost loses the car completely, and that's going to lose him a half a second. Pavelli now with another 3 seconds. We got a lot of drivers right now with 3 seconds. Currently Harrison, Soft Floppy, Luca, 6, Clark, Beto, and 2 3-second time penalties for Pavelli. Out of the 17 drivers here, we have got 7 with a penalty right now. What kind of biz, buddy? Antonio Wright going around the outside, which will soon become the inside of Ched to take away P5. Saw Floppy getting a lot closer to Robin, but not close enough to take the position. George Ansel now with a 3-second time penalty. This could really hurt him. This is already 1.6 seconds off the back of Envy. If we go up to Envy, right now he is just in a class of his own here at Imola. And this is just the sprint race. I think these drivers should be thankful that this isn't the full race, because right now he's just continuing to pull away. And we got a yellow on the back. Reese with a 3-second time penalty now. It's a virtual safety car. Clark's crashed out. What has happened here? Oh no, he hasn't. He's retired on track again. He's retired on track for the second time. He did it in quali. He's done it in the sprint. And who's to say it won't happen in the race?
That's just a ban. He's gone. Happen to a Haas driver can happen to a Williams. See you later, son. That's not a joke either. We won't have to worry about him in the race. That's
yeah,
him
we've
gone.
got Harrison driving really slowly. He's lost 3 seconds to his own teammate under the virtual safety car.
Maybe because of penalties, he's trying to just make sure that Reese can't. Well, Reese has a penalty as well now.
Yeah, no, they all got to worry right now about Shed. And Harrison, as soon as I said something, has started to catch back up. I guess he wants that. What's it called? The delta to be really high, so when the virtual safety car starts to come back or starts to leave, he can start going back full throttle.
And currently Reese is looking at P6 for that penalty, so.
And DRS has been re-enabled. Green flag's back out. Envy has pulled about 2/10 on George. George, in the meantime, has lost about 1/10.5. Oh my God! To his teammate, who almost put it in the wall. It's a dogfight now here for P3 between Reese and Harrison. Reese backs out, let Harrison through, so he can get the DRS, I think. No, neither of them got it. They must have been perfectly side by side when they got to the DRS detection point. Because, wow, neither of them have gotten it. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Antonio Wright, once again, taking P5 away from Ched. This is the penultimate lap of the sprint race. And, oh, it's Reese around! It's Reese around! And Reese has gone from fighting for P3 to P10. He's out of the points. And he might lose P10 to Matthew May because he's only 1.2 in closing. And Reese only just lost the car, so he's definitely going to be having hot tires. Pavelli's around as well. Not sure what's happened to him. We got 6 diving into the pits onto the sauce, but I don't think he's realized that you can't taking fastest lap in the sprint really doesn't mean much. So he's kind of just wasting a set of softs here. Harrison now with another 3 seconds. That's now 6 seconds for the Mercedes, which is going to really hurt him. It could take him out of the points. Josh Meister with a 3-second. That should certainly help Harrison here. They're coming across the line to start the final lap of the sprint race. Envy has gotten a 3-second gap. He could probably take 2 3-second penalties and still win this sprint race. A lot of position changes. Tonio taking P3 away from Harrison. Oh, trying not to run into the back of him, but still trying to take the position away.
Hey, my phone alarm is going off. I'm so sorry. So loud.
No worries, man. It's not too bad. Stream, I don't know if anyone watching the stream might like it though. Ched right now is looking at a very possible P3 here, unless he gets a 3-second time penalty. So I think right now if you're Ched, you just gotta chill. Don't extend the track if you don't have to. Don't even try to overtake these two, honestly. I would sit behind them and be happy with the P3 after penalties. Envy now coming through the final 2 corners of Ravazza. Soft Floppy spinning it, Aqua Minerale, but it's going to be Envy who takes home the sprint race.
7 seconds.
P2 is going to go to George Ansel. It's going to be P3 for AERT Ched.
Present since the very start.
Tonio Wright P4, Harrison P5. P5 actually, sorry, is going to go to Robin. P6 Harrison. P7 Luca. P8 Josh. P9 Matthew May. Reese 10th. He would have been P4 or thereabout after if he hadn't spun, and he's lost out on what I believe is 4 points.
Matthew May might go in P9.
Ratty P11, Thunder 12, Soft Floppy, Pavelli, Beto Express, and Sticks coming out of the final corner now. He is going to take fastest lap, but that's not going to count for any points. I kind of wish it was, though. I mean, I feel like that should be like an incentive. Even if you're outside the top 10, you take fastest lap, you should get the point. Maybe that's just me and being mid in league racing, but I don't know.
I got a question. If no one said anything in the comms chat about me being yet?
I don't know. I didn't check the comms chat. I was obviously busy commentating.
Cause I'll be real with you, mate. I've been banned.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to see if anyone would plug on, but I'm off though. So you enjoy the race, mate.
Oh, all right.
Friendly reminder that Rise is the worst admin in history, if anything. Thank you.
All right, man. Well, that was my co-commentator, and he is off now, so I guess it's gonna just be me now. Why did he get banned? I guess it's because of the lack of. He didn't show up a whole lot. There was like a 4-week period where he didn't show up for comms, and then he came today. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll have my comm back. And I tried to like tag him in the chat before I even knew he was going to be commentating, and turns out he'd already been removed from the commentary chat and stuff. And I guess because of that, Harry's left. Oh. It's 5 lights. Lights out and away we go here for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Soft Floppy has gotten a drive-through. I don't know if he actually jumped the starter or not, but he's up 6 positions before turn 1, so yeah, he may have jumped the start. And we got a lot of stuff going on in the back. Oh, we got a crash. What has happened? We got a lot of people around. Robin's been taken out, and it's a safety car. I'm sorry. We gotta do something about that. What was that whole start of the race? What was that? We got everyone around. Robin's out of the race. 2 other drivers have lost at least 10 positions. Tony Wright, George Ansel. Reese losing 6 positions after starting P10. And really the only person who gained positions, no offense to Soft Floppy, legitimately were, at least a lot of positions were legitimately. Pavelli up 8 positions from 14th, and Beto Express from 15th to 9th before the safety car came out. Of course, a lot of that is due to severe amounts of contact, among other things, but wow, I am speechless. I do not know what to say. Okay, yeah, that was certainly something. Don't hold me to that, though. Okay, okay. I mean, I don't know what he said or did, but yeah, alright. Soft Floppy will not be able to serve his drive-through here, but he does have to change his wing. SRT Clark with a 5-second speeding penalty, just adding insult to injury. It's bad enough he's already got the broken wing and got caught in a bunch of contact, but now he's got a 5-second speeding penalty, so I imagine he'll be coming into the pits literally at the end of this next lap here, or this current lap, I should say, since he crossed the line a while ago.
In the 1950s, the average age of the drivers was 39, with 3 over the age of 50.
Yeah, Ched did have a pretty good start. He ended up taking P1. I don't really know for 100% what they're going to do about the race. I don't know if that was just people driving like idiots or what, but normally Tier 1's not nearly that bad. And, I mean, I guess it is wet Imola, so I guess a lot more care has to be taken into Turn 1, and I guess a lot of people just didn't get that memo or had the braking bias wrong or something. Currently, the only teams with both drivers in the top 10, frankly, are McLaren and Red Bull. Similar to real life. If I included the top 12, it would also be AlphaTauri and Mercedes. Mercedes having P3, P11, AlphaTauri P8 and P12. Gonna see if anyone comes into the pits. Doesn't look like anyone will be in the top 10. But of course, SRT Clark will be coming back into the pits. For all, he did get the 5-second speeding penalty. He wants to remove those 5 seconds. And I'm sorry, Envy's off. Envy is off. What has happened to the McLaren of Envy? Wow, he just came right back out onto the track in front of everybody and nearly had George Ansel run into the back of him. That could constitute as a dangerous driving penalty. I guess it depends on how the stewards look at it, of course, and whether anyone sends in a clip or not. Look at the championship standings for Tier 1. Currently, your championship leader is was P2 until he went off at Tamburello. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but he's now down to P9, which could really hurt him. Because Imola is not a track with a lot of overtakes to begin with, and being down in P9 at a wet Imola race is going to be... frankly, it's going to be quite difficult, especially with how close a lot of these drivers were at this race, in quali and in the sprint. You got Tonio Ray and Soft Floppy both in the pits as well now. I'm not sure why they're in the pits. And it looks like Soft Floppy's just getting a wing, they're both just changing their tires. Okay, fair enough, I guess. I'm not sure why you would. I guess they got to take any advantage they can find, and I guess 3-lap pressure inters will help a bit. I don't know how much, but a bit, certainly. The safety car came out like lap 10, and they decided to pit. It would make a lot more sense, but... And again, this game has been favoring the fresh tires over the smart tires, frankly. Yeah, I've noticed that in this game, it's a lot smarter to just take a new set of tires, whether you got them or not, than to just stay on your old tires, even if those old tires are like 4 or 5 laps old. Championship leader, though, is NV with 62 points. 60 points for Ched, who's currently leading right now, with Tonio Wright in P15 after his pit stop. Pavelli P4 in the championship, P5 in this race. Safety car is going to be in this lap a little, not too late, but a bit late. Tonio Wright gets a 5-second penalty for hitting the back of Clark. Could be huge. We're going to stay on board with Ched. Backing these guys up as much as he can. Right now, if you're in Ched's shoes, the best thing you can possibly see is your teammate overtake Harrison and then just become a chicane. And we are going. It is the go for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix once again. Ched crossing the line. It's green flag conditions officially. Doesn't catch Harrison out by much, but just enough to make sure that the Mercedes cannot overtake him. Josh Meister right on the gearbox of Luca. Luca going a little wide in the second part. That's going to compromise him on the exit, but not enough to lose the position. Josh continuing to look for the position there. Thunder and Matthew May fighting for position. We got a lot of positions lost here. Envy and Ratty are off. I'm not sure what's happened there. Envy with a 5-second penalty for hitting a guy. Josh Meister also off. The McLaren's having a terrible restart as Josh is in the wall. He's still in the race, but he's in the wall. And the McLarens and the Williams drivers having the worst restarts you could possibly imagine from them. We're going to watch on board with soft floppy now as Reese gets the position off of Tonio Wright on older inters. Oh, okay. I don't know if that was actual contact or if the game is just going nuts. This game is... We got Thunder around now. I'm not sure what's happening, but everybody is starting to lose their car. I don't know how many people forgot that the race was going to be rainy. But clearly more than one person. Pavelli still on the back of Luca Ludl. Soft floppy into the pits. We got Harrison making the move for P1. And Pavelli now getting the move. No, he's not. No, it's Luca turning him around. I don't think he even tried to avoid the contact. I think he just straight up turned him. And Pavelli from P3 to P10. Oh, the humanity. And Pavelli now has just completely lost the rears. I don't think he's got any rear grip left in the car. Matthew May with 6 seconds. Tonio Wright with a 5-second penalty for hitting the back of Clark under the safety car. And Tonio Wright trying to get a pass in the grass done, and he gets a 3-second time penalty for it. He hits the Haas. He keeps the car going, though. But look at how little grip he's got in the rear tires. These guys are just absolutely shredding the rear tires with all these moves. They keep landing, and he's hit him. Oh, Antonio Wright's off now. Okay, we have got quite a number of spins, hits, collisions, any other word you want to use. Clark gets a 3-second time penalty. Matthew May getting passed by George Ansel for P5. And now the Mercedes and the Red Bulls are looking very good right now. Tonio Wright is in the pits. He's retired in the pits. And he's left the session. He's done with the race. This commentator is dumbfounded. I kind of am, yeah. Some of these moves that these guys are trying is absolutely out of pocket. It makes no sense to me why anyone would try some of these moves. I mean, I certainly wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to try and make some of these moves. Unless I had like a really good reason to. Like if it was someone I don't like and I don't want to be behind them. If they're too slow, then yeah, maybe. But all these guys are pretty similar on pace. It doesn't make sense why they would try so hard for a pit move. Got Tonio Wright's car off the track, and it's finally retired on the inside of Tamburello, I believe. And Josh Meister's almost a lap down already. It's only lap... They just started lap 8. And we've got that audio crackling in my ears. I just don't like it. We got Envy and Thunder having some contact out of Tosa, and Thunder's in the wall for a moment there. Envy takes P13. And we get a yellow. Back to green. Not 100% sure what was happening there. George Ansel now passing Beto Express for P4. He's now looking to take P3 off of Luca's hands. Luca just going about as slow as he can right now. I think he's trying to keep the fight for the lead between Luke, Ched, and Harrison. Of course, George wants to get himself involved. Just gotta wait for the right moment to make the overtake. Envy takes fastest lap at 25.066. For reference, the fastest lap by the leaders is 25.43, a 27.0, 25.7, and a 26.0 from the top 5. Can't go on board at all. George gets a 3-second time penalty. Not the time you wanted to get one. Beto Express is going to have the momentum out of the corner and down the straight. And George backs out. He backs out of the move. Luca, after 8 laps on the first set of inters, is going on to another set. Beto Express still looking for the move. He's not going to give up this fight easily. Luca finally coming out of the pits now. And again, I'm not 100% sure whether he changed the front wing or he just changed tires or what. Reese allowing it, or no, Beto Express, excuse me, allowing Reese through. And that is the name of the game, isn't it? Envy now with a 24.4, so he is running much faster right now than the leaders are. Unfortunately for him, he's about a minute almost, a whole minute behind P1, so he's going to need about 10, at least 10 to 15 more of those. Where he just runs laps much faster than the front of the pack. For reference, Harrison ran 1.3 seconds slower than Envy that last lap. Pavelli, 6th, and Matthew May all very close to each other. I wonder if someone's going to try and make a move. No, not quite. He's right on the gearbox and he can't make the move just yet. This is one of the hardest parts of driving in the wet at Imola. You've got to be very patient. You just got to hope the guy in front of you makes a mistake. You can't get too frustrated. You got to realize this is a war of attrition. You got to be prepared to run slow laps. And oh, it's Josh Meister again without a front wing. It's a virtual safety car, so unfortunately Josh is not going to get saved by a full course safety car here. Envy is going to get saved by the reversal, though. He's going to come into the pits yet again. the second pit stop, I believe.
So only 6 cars lined up on the grid.
The
This was
second
the
pit stop. He's
infamous
onto the
2005
mediums.
US.
He is onto the mediums, and I'm wondering whether anyone's going to come in and do the same. He's still got rain falling. The track doesn't look nearly dry enough for a set of slicks yet. And if you are going to go on to slicks, I don't feel like the mediums are the tire you want to pick. Josh Meister with a speeding penalty and now down a lap. This race right now has just gone from bad to worse for the McLaren driver. He is also going on to the mediums. Anyone on the lead lap going to follow that decision. Ratty gets a drive through milliseconds before the virtual safety car leaves. And that's just going to kill any chance he had at points, I think.
The formula are the rules and the why.
And ladies and gentlemen, it has stopped raining here, which means we could have slick conditions here soon. I don't know when, but soon. We're going to look at Envy. We're going to look at his gap to the leader, see how it changes. Oh my god, okay, it is definitely not into slick time yet. Yeah, he just goes off the track. He knows he's not going to be anywhere near them pace-wise. He is still not on the right tire. We got Shed here losing the car, rather interestingly. Oh, and he's around. Okay. We've also got the other McLaren of Josh Meister around. And yeah, these slick tires just aren't it yet. George Ansel gets a 3-second time penalty. I believe that's his second. It is his second 3 seconds. They give him 6 seconds now, along with Matthew May. And it's going from bad to worse right now for him. Got another car around. I believe it's Thunder. It is. Josh Meister losing it out of Piratella, and look at the lack of grip on the track right now. It was a bold strategy to try and go onto the slicks, but trust me, it was not the time to go onto the slicks. I'd still say it needs another 3, maybe 4 laps. Track is very dark still, so the tires are not going to heat up nearly as quickly. George Ansel trying his hardest to keep these guys behind. We got Matthew May behind. We got 6 behind him. And look at this, a 5-way dogfight right now for P3. George Ansel still holding on to P3, but only just. Beto Express backing off a bit. Matthew May also backing off. 6, trying to make sure he can stick to the back of that Alpine. Forgot the car he's driving for a moment there. We got Pavelli going onto the hards, and this has got to be... This can't work out well for him. There's no way. Just look at how little grip he's got in the front end and rear end on exit. It's a miracle he even got through the corner. We got 6 and Matthew May fighting for P6. And Matthew May looks like he's going to hold on to P6 for the moment. Got a yellow. I believe it's Thunder. Reese getting P3 off of George, and now he's got to start going. He's 13.6 seconds behind the leaders. And these guys are just heading into Villeneuve. They're halfway to Piratella. It's looking rough right now for these guys here. Thunder now with a 3-second time penalty. We look at the penalties just for a moment. You got 6 for George, 3 for 6, 6 for Matthew May, 3 for... Oh, we got a car off. It's Clark. And he immediately, and I mean immediately, hit that reset the track button. There was no hesitation there. Luca, soft floppy, Clark, all with 3 seconds. Pavelli ready without any. Your top 3 without any. Beto Express without any. 3 seconds for Envy, Thunder, 5 for Josh Meister. Shed is starting to lose touch with Harrison now. Gotta wonder when the track's gonna dry out. It's still too wet for the slicks, that's for sure. All you gotta do is look at how much time both Pavelli, Ratty, and the other two of Envy and Thunder are losing. Got a car stopped on track, I believe. Just ahead of the leaders, he's going now. AlphaTauri of XPG Thunder. It's starting to reel Harrison back in. He's starting to really reel him back in. Harrison must have had a terrible exit out of Aqua Minerale. He's well over a second behind him. He's only half a second back on him now. 6 with a 3-second time penalty. That, I believe, is his second. It is. And all that work Harrison put in to pull away from the Red Bull has now been undone by that one mistake through Aqua Minerale. Robin has left the session. He is one of the drivers who crashed out extremely early, and I believe he crashed out lap 1. In fact, and everyone who's watching this is going to be racing tomorrow or at any point this week. Got to remember, turn 1 is, you've got to be very careful through turn 1. You don't take the utmost amount of care through turn 1. It could be you in the wall, or you could be putting your own teammate in the wall. You never know. Quite lucky we only had one driver crash out at turn 1, or in Tamburello lap 1. Oh, Ched losing the car a little bit on the exit of Piratella. Doesn't seem like he lost much time, though, because there's an AI car of, I believe, Thunder in the way, and these two are not required to get out of his way because they're fighting for position. Thunder losing out on P14 now to Josh Meister. And all this is starting to hurt Ched a lot. Battle here for P4, Beto Express and George Ansel. Really the only battle going on right now. Everyone else is pretty far spread out here at Imola. XPG Thunder now onto the hards. We're going to move on to him just for a bit, see how it is. Bit of oversteer on the exit of pit. Not sure who that is behind him. It looks like Envy. He's about to be a lap down to the guy only 2 positions ahead of him. And we got a yellow. It's for Josh Meister again. He's just not had a very good day here today. I mean, he has just been absolutely... I don't even know the word to describe what has happened to him in this race, but it has not been pleasant for him, I imagine. Right on. We're going to stay on board here with Thunder just for a bit. See how the car drives. He's having to be very careful. I mean, excruciatingly careful. Here's another thing. He is almost 2 laps down to Soft Floppy. Soft Floppy's P9 out of 15. Finally let Envy through. These two are not fighting for position. They're going to have to get out of Soft Floppy's way. They are both a lap down. Currently, you've got Josh Meister in the pits going on to the hards now. I don't really think the hards are the tire you want to go on to. They're not going to have any grip whatsoever on this pit stop. Soft Floppy is coming into the pits. Good news for them. They're not going to get a penalty for blocking. Beto Express lost about half a second to George Ansel since the last time we were here. We got a yellow in sector 1. I'm not 100% sure what it's for, but I suppose we'll find out. Currently, the last man on the lead lap right now is the Aston Martin of Pavelli. P11, he's 9.3 seconds back on P10. Some 5-lap old hards, and I think at this point he realized, either he's realizing or he's already realized that these tires just aren't the tire to go to. Honestly, in a condition like this, I think you want to switch onto the softs just so if you're on the bad tire, you'll know right away because you'll still be a lot slower. Versus on the hards, you won't know until it's like 10 laps past the right time to switch. We got Josh Meister once again going slow. Ditto Thunder. I'm not sure what's happened to these two. But Thunder coming back out on the track, and he's feeling terrible on these tires. Josh Meister going very deep into Ivata. He's got no grip in the car, or in the tires whatsoever. Ditto Thunder. SRT Clark's in the pits. I imagine he's going to go on to the mediums, perhaps. Got both the McLarens and Thunder are all going to pit and retire. 3 drivers in a stretch of about 20 seconds all retire from the race. Fortunately for Harrison, might have the McLaren get in his way. He's got a he avoided him by just millimeters there. Ooh, nope, it's a ghost. Oh no. Okay then. Ched apparently cut off the AI of one of the McLarens, and like it didn't spin until about 3 seconds after he hit him.
I'm not superstitious.
We got Luca and Clark both starting on a fresh set of mediums. I would say it's probably still a little too wet for his tires, for the slick. I'm seeing any spray coming out of the back of Soft Floppy. It might just be the fact that I'm a commentator is why I can't see any spray, but... Oh, and we got, I believe, Ratty around. And yes, it is Ratty. George Ansel with yet another 3-second time penalty. At this point, I think Beto Express knows he can just chill right behind George Ansel and be fine, because he'll get a free position off of him. Reese, ever since taking P3 away from George Ansel, hasn't really caught up to the top 2. In fact, he's continuously dropped time. George Ansel is coming into the pits after 19 laps on the inters. And another yellow, and this time it's a virtual safety car. Matthew May in the pits is going to get a 5-second speeding penalty, which is not great for him. In the meantime, Soft Floppy might be able to pit and take... might be able to pit onto a set of mediums and take them to the end here without losing too much time to Luca. In fact, he might not even lose the position to Luca due to the VSC. Well, Harrison is still got a pretty good gap to Ched. It's 3.7 seconds as his green flag back out. No one gets a drive through this time. Matthew May with 11 seconds. DRS has just been enabled. So George, Matthew May, and Soft Floppy all pit onto the mediums, possibly at a perfect time. Not 100% sure if you want to pit this time by, though. Harrison does not pit. He declined. Ched comes into the pits right away, though. Next up is Breeze, followed closely by his teammate. Clark has crashed at the chicane of Variante Alta. Beto Express also going to be coming into the pits. 6 coming into the pits now. He gets a speeding penalty. I don't believe it. It was so close to avoiding it, and it just, unfortunately, the slightest of margins. We're going to see how much Harrison loses time. In fact, he was up by over a 10th in the first sector. So he might already be in a very good position here. George overtakes everybody in the pits because he pit the lap before. This could be huge for him. Matthew May also getting past Beto. It's P5 for the Alpine. Oh, almost a quarter of a second faster this lap on a set of inters than his best lap. Luca Ludholf with the fastest lap of the race at 23.35. Say Harrison should probably, might want to stay out this lap. No, he comes in. Harrison gets a 5-second speeding penalty. That's going to be enormous. That could be huge. That is going to be catastrophic for the Mercedes if there's a safety car that comes out.
Belgian Grand Prix lasted only 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
I imagine Ched is storming right now as after he saw that 5-second penalty, excuse me, from the Mercedes. The purple sector 2 and had a purple sector 3. And look at this, he might pass him here. No, not quite. He's not going to pass him. George Ansel takes fastest lap of the race, 22.2. Look, there's still a little bit of water on the track, but I don't think it's enough to really hurt either of these two. Saw Floppy with a 21.81 for his fastest lap. The fastest lap of this race. Chad still looking to try and overtake the Mercedes here. With DRS enabled, it's going to be hard for Harrison to hold him off, especially now that he's in the DRS. He's so close to boot. Only about a 1/10 and a half of a car length behind him right now. Luca Ludholf has left the session. 6 gets another 3-second time penalty. I think Harrison right now has got to hope that Ched gets 2 3-second penalties. I don't think he can afford to hope that Ched just spins out or something. Ched's taking the lead now. It's over half a second, and look at that. He is just pulling right away. I think any chance Harrison had at winning this race might have just left at this moment he crossed the line too fast. It's better to lose a second than to lose 5, and unfortunately, Harrison just didn't take that to heart. Floppy and Luke are the only really close battle, but of course Luke is disconnected from the session, so that's probably going to end as soon as Luca gets past here. Could happen in the next few seconds. There he goes. Back to our race leader. Ched now takes fastest lap at 20.89, and I don't think Harrison's going to have much for it unless he can get the move done here, and he does. Wow, and it's P1. George Ansel takes fastest lap, by the way. It's a 20.4. And Ched Not sure what he's doing there. Looked for a move for a moment there, but that's a very awkward spot to try and make an overtake it. At Ratty with a 20.2, it's fastest lap there for him. And we've got Pavelli who lost it in Aqua Minerale. I'm not sure what happened there, but really something big. It's still P10, so he just needs to maintain his gap to Ratty, which is a good chunk of a lap, frankly. Ooh, Pavelli almost losing it out of that corner, though. Like 1.6 seconds faster than his previous best lap. Harrison here, who Rivazza is going to take his fastest lap. What's it going to be? Is it going to be fastest lap of the race? Cross the line, it will be fastest lap. It's a 19.5. Soft floppy immediately gets a penalty.
Winning a world title. For example,
Doesn't matter if you sped by 1 mile or 20 miles, unfortunately for Harrison. This race might already be over for him. The win might already be out of his hands, unless something happens here. Matthew May has lost it out of Villeneuve. And there goes any chance he had of fighting for a podium.
2019
Down to P7 for him as the Williams of Ratty passes him, but doesn't lose a position because Ratty's down a lap. Let's see the fight between him and Soft Floppy, see if Floppy can get past him or not. Shed takes fastest lap at 19.4, despite being in the dirty air pretty much the entire lap. Gotta say, that's pretty impressive. I'm shocked he didn't have... Oh, Ched gets a 3! Ched gets a 3, a very poor run through Tamburello. It's a 3-second time penalty that could spice things up, but Harrison's gonna have to pull 2 seconds on him. He wants that to matter. If Ched stays right on him like this, it's not gonna matter. He's still gonna finish 2 seconds behind him. And now the penalties for the warnings for Ched have essentially reset now. He can get 2 extensions any more, and he'll get another penalty, and then he'll have to finish a second ahead of Harrison to win. And we get a yellow for Ratty. He's in the wall. Doesn't lose... Damn, it doesn't lose any of his wing, though. He keeps his wing. Harrison with the fastest lap of the race. Ched only loses half a tenth compared to his best lap, and that's showing you how much this track's ramping up in these final few laps. Reese with a 19.4, it's fastest lap for him. Reese only needs to finish within 9 seconds of George Ansel to take a podium here. Harrison gets a 3. The last thing he needed, he gets a 3-second penalty, so it's almost like neither of them got a 3 to begin with. This has got to be heartbreaking for him right now. We got a car going very slow here. It's Matthew May. He's lost it out of Rivazza. We got Ratty coming back into the pits again. He might either be retiring or getting another set of softs. I'm assuming he's getting softs. He hasn't chosen to retire yet, so clearly he's got something he wants to take. If he's not going to get points, he wants to at least take fastest lap. We got Matthew May, who's off at Villeneuve. Harrison takes an 18.8. It's fastest lap for him. Reese with an 18.7, his fastest lap yet again for him. And I know he's way too far back to take a position off the leaders, unless, of course, they get a bunch of penalties. He's 15.4 in climbing. In fact, even George is starting to catch up a bit, 18.7, and he's continuing to reel him in just a little bit. Ratty with yet another 3-second time penalty. I'd say if you're Ratty, you want to back off as much as you can from the top two, because you're going to be putting up an absolutely flying lap here. It's a virtual safety car, as Matthew May has lost his front wing and crashed. There's been no safety cars in this race, funnily enough. And I don't think anyone in either of the top two can afford to take a pit stop here. But Beto Express is 23 seconds ahead of Soft Floppy. I think the virtual safety car is still out when he enters the pits. I think he should take this opportunity to pit onto a set of softs. Unless, of course, he wants to take P5 off of 6, which is a very high possibility. Matthew May gets a 5-second speeding penalty, and he's retired. So Ratty's going to get a point here after all. Wow, he's really decided to retire after that. Ratty, all he's got to do basically is just get to the end. He's just got to get to the end. He's got to go another lap or two to pass Matthew May, and then another lap after that, and he'll get points guaranteed. If you're Ratty, though, you got to be saving your ERS as the safety or virtual safety car has left, and we are back under green flag conditions yet again. The bare minimum for points tonight is if you get to the end of lap 29, you'll get points. That's what you got to do. You got to get to the end of this lap here. And there's Pavelli just up the road. He's about to get lapped. Can he stay on the lead lap, though, or will he get lapped? There's another problem. Ched's starting to lose a little bit of time here. All Ched has to do, though, is stay within 5 seconds. He's currently only a second back. Sixth with the fastest lap of the race. It's an 18-1. That's the time Ratty has to beat right now. Right on board with him, just a minute. Belly has been lapped. They did catch him. The question is, will Ratty catch him? And are they on the same lap, or is Ratty 2 laps down? And Pavelli's only 1. Soft Floppy takes a 17.995. That's now the lap time Ratty has to beat. The only thing I'm wondering is why Matthew May decided to retire. If he'd have just stayed in the race, he would have been E10. Sure, it's not much, but it's certainly better than nothing. Ratty takes a 16.4. Incredible lap time compared to the rest of the field. Over a second faster than the next fastest time of a 17.504 from W.R. Harrison. Two laps to go. Ched still only about 0.8 of a second back. I don't think he's really trying as hard so much anymore. I think he's just, or of course he has used almost all of his ERS, but I think he's just trying to stay within a second or so of him. He'll be fine. Ched currently improving on his best lap right now on this lap. say right about now would have been the perfect time for Pavelli to pit, or last lap, I should say. The beginning of last lap would have been the perfect time to pit. Because Harrison coming out of the final corner will start the final lap of this race. And at this point, I think he's just got to hope Ched completely loses it through Tamburello, Villeneuve, Varianti Alta, Aqua Minerale, Paratella, anywhere. I don't think he cares. I think he just wants him to lose it completely. He cannot afford to have him only lose it a little bit like he just did there. Loses about half a second, but he's only 1.1 back, 1.2 now. He needs Ched to have the worst final lap of his life to even have a chance. And yeah, Ratty is getting ready to pass Pavelli, but he's not. Doesn't matter. He's still a lap behind him. Pavelli gets a 3-second time penalty. And Ched has lost almost a second on this final lap. Does not matter. He's only 1.2 back. He needs to be 5 seconds back for Harrison to maintain the win here. Coming through the final 2 corners, we're going to ride along with Ched through Ravazza. Out of the final corner now, and he's going to win your Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix here for Tier 1. Harrison's going to take P2. P3 is going to be Reese. Despite being 3.9 seconds back, is going to take P3 due to the 9 seconds for George Ansel. It's P3 for the Haas, P4 for George. P5 should, I believe, go. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. It certainly will go to Beto Express. P5 Beto Express, P6 6. Soft Floppy, P7. P8 Luca, P9 Pavelli, and P10 will go to Ratty. And he takes fastest lap, so it'll be 2 points for the Williams team. Driver of the day, according to the game, is Soft Floppy, but of course, you always put that up to a vote, and vote for your driver of the day should come along in about a day or 2 from now. Here are your podium celebrations. Congratulations to your top 3. Of course, AERT Ched, WR Harrison, and of course, Reese B07. Of course, you can get. Make sure to include your audio.
Yeah, my audio is included.
All right.
Bloody hell.
Not 100% sure if we're going to get Reese in here, but we'll just start with you. Ched, you're leading the championship now after what was a near perfect day from you today. 6 points in the sprint, 25 / the win in the main race. How are you feeling after all of that?
Well, I think after the sprint, I was kind of happy that I managed to get up the field a little bit, and then obviously even more ecstatic off the start. I managed to get P1. I think it was a
two-horse race from the safety car restart between me and Harrison. And at the end of the day, he messed up his pit lane. I just managed to take advantage and had the pace throughout the whole race, to be honest.
You certainly did. Again, you're leading the championship now provisionally, unless there's any penalties against you, which I can't imagine there will be. With, I believe, 93 points over. I don't know who would be P2 after all of that. Unfortunately, Envy not having a very good sprint race. How are you feeling now for the championship?
Well, confidence is definitely on because Tonio and Envy having their poor results, and I managed to take advantage, getting nearly maximum points. So hopefully, throughout the rest of the season, I can keep up this good form and keep getting consistent results.
Certainly. Next week, we will be heading to Hungary.
Ooh.
Hungaroring. How are you feeling for that one?
Well, it's in a way a similar track to Imola and Spain. It's just got a little bit more high downforce. The aim would be to just qualify high and up in the grid and not in the midfield, because otherwise it'd be a little bit of chaos just being stuck behind people. Because the Hungaroring is a very hard track to overtake.
Certainly is. How do you feel personally about the Hungaroring?
Well, it's been for quite a bit of time, to be honest. So continue, and I can maybe get a back wins and get my stamp on this championship.
Certainly. Well, best of luck to you. Congratulations again on your race and your sprint
Yeah, thank you very much.
results. Best of luck to you next week. And that'll do it for me, folks. I've been your host, Ace Freak. Thank you all for tuning in. Goodbye and good night wherever you are.